Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I just wanted to kind of talk about Xbox again. I woke up today, turned on my Xbox, like I normally always do. Loaded up, loaded up a racing game, because that's usually what I do. I mean, I got onto MXGP 2021, and I'm doing some races, knocking out some achievements and stuff, just winning some races. Normally I don't usually get in there and do like the Grand Prix or anything. I usually just get on those and just do the time attacks and stuff, to learn the new tracks for the games. By the time I'm done doing that, I usually move on to other things. But this time I decided, you know what, man? Instead of just learning the tracks with time attack, I'm going to start doing these with the Grand Prix. So every time you win one of these races, you get an achievement or whatever. So I was like, cool, man. So I kept doing it. I won like 3 of them today. And then I jumped over onto Forza Horizon 5, and this is what kind of prompted me to make this video. Today is the 5th. I bought Forza Horizon 5. I started playing on the 4th of last month. So, I mean, exactly just like a day and a month. So, I went over and I looked at how many people are actually on that game now. And they are already at 12,019,000 players on that. That is pretty good for a racing game. I mean, that's one hell of an achievement for them to have 12 million players already within the first month of launch. That really speaks volumes just at how amazing the proposition for Game Pass really is. More people get to play this game, more people get to enjoy it, and now over that month, we've went through all 4 seasons. I really don't think that the winter season is probably like. It wasn't really my favorite on Forza Horizon 4, and it's probably not going to be on Forza Horizon 5. It was more like dry and everything, but for the most part, we've seen the 4 seasons. We've seen all the color palettes change. We've seen all the work that Playground Studios puts into these games to consistently keep the game feeling fresh and feeling new. I can't tell you just how often I get on that game and there's just things that still wow me, still amaze me at just how beautiful they are and how wonderful it looks. I really appreciate playing Forza Horizon 5. It is definitely my favorite open world racing game of all time. It is freaking phenomenal. It's beautiful. The racing is fun. I love the things that I notice when you get into a race and you're racing. They do everything they can to really minimize the pop-in that you would normally see. Yeah, pop-in is definitely still a problem with open world games. Hopefully like later into this generation that will go away, once they start actually using the full power of these consoles. I would really like to see that thing be the pop-in definitely be addressed. But the fact that when I'm racing, when I'm out exploring the world, that necessarily does not matter too much to me. It doesn't matter because I'm not really looking for things to be on the side of the road for me to use as braking points. But when you're in a race in Forza Horizon 5, I've noticed it. That pop-in is pretty limited. And it almost feels like they've taken extra special time to ensure that the pop-in is at a minimal, because that is really distracting when you're racing. It really is. It can really be a very big distraction when you're trying to make your braking points and you're trying to keep your head in the game and keep your focus and everything. And when you're seeing stuff popping in and out all the time, that really does lead to a lot of mistakes. I'm not even gonna lie. There's the games out there, racing games, that the popping is just so bad that it just makes it so hard to keep concentration when you're playing these games at a higher difficulty and stuff. I really do appreciate, the work that Playground Games has done for Forza Horizon 5. And if you haven't picked this game up already, definitely jump into this. Jump into this. This game is fun. They are always adding more content to this. The fixes that they just did in the recent patch have definitely made things a little bit better. I have noticed that it added to the loading time a little bit in certain aspects, but I mean, as long as they can continue to work on this game while it's out, like they did with Forza Horizon 4, and continue to improve on the systems, maybe they can address the pop-in. Maybe they can address this and make this a much better, a much smoother experience. Like right now, the game is already smooth. It runs great at 60 frames a second. It runs amazing at 30 frames a second. It actually looks and feels pretty good at the 30 in the 4K 30 mode. Me personally, I still prefer the 60 FPS mode. I feel that it adds more to the presentation of the game and keeps it more consistent. I really do like what Playground Games was able to achieve. There's certain things, like when you go and you're looking, at the rock faces, or you're out there, and you look at the way that they blend the ground into the rock faces. The attention to detail in this game is so good, and that's everywhere in the map. That's not just by the roadside, that's everywhere. You go anywhere and everything looks like it's been like it's been touched up and it looks good. That makes me excited for this generation of video games. I really appreciate, because I love open world games. I love open world games, and the closer to realism they get, and the nicer that the environments look, the better, because I really love exploring these open worlds and having a good time and just taking my time and playing them, like really taking in the beauty of the worlds that are created for me to explore. I do put a lot of value on open worlds. I do put a lot of value on just how good they look, and the different things that the developers go out of their way to achieve in these. That's probably my favorite part of open world games, aside from the gameplay. Like, I could play a game like Far Cry 6 for 100 hours and never even touch the missions if the world is beautiful. Like, I've most of my time spent in that game has just been exploring and having fun, like seeing the sights and that. The same goes for, I mean, like my other games, like Ghost Recon and Assassin's Creed, stuff like those. Those I do complete the story, but then I always spend time just hanging out in those worlds, over 100 hours plus on any one of those games. So I always definitely feel like I get my money's worth on those. Another thing is, I am just really excited about the future of Xbox. I think that things are really going to come full circle for Xbox, and they are definitely going to be. They're not. I don't think they're last place, but a lot of people do, because they go off of sales of the consoles and stuff, and a lot of people that buy PlayStations and Xboxes, and honestly, they just buy sports games and hang out and do their sports thing or whatever. But when it comes to like hardcore gamers, most hardcore gamers are probably PC players by now, so. It is nice. It's always good when a new generation starts, and we get to welcome all the younger generations into playing games, and helping that medium grow. I don't like the way that some things are going in the gaming community. I hear a lot of people right now, threatening 343 studios over Halo and stuff, and man, guys, that's just uncalled for. That really is uncalled for. It's a free to play game, man. Play the freaking game. Have fun with it. I can't speak for the Halo community, but from what I've played, I'm definitely enjoying Halo multiplayer. I'm more looking forward to the campaign. That's the bread and butter for me. That's what I really want to play, and then I'll go back and play some more of the multiplayer. But as it sits right now, it is a fun experience. You don't need a battle pass to enjoy Halo multiplayer. You do not need it. This whole battle pass thing that the industry is moving towards. I mean, like, I get that they want to monetize their games and make as much money as they can. Like, I get it, and you can either choose to be a part of it, or you can choose, to just enjoy the games like we used to, and have a good time, man. Because that's what we used to get in there for. We didn't used to chase trinkets and paint colors and all kinds of stupid things, man. Like, I don't get it, guys. But with that, I really do appreciate what Xbox is bringing to the gaming community. This has been great. It's a breath of fresh air to have a company that is delivering such an amazing value and continuing to deliver games that are quality in a service like Game Pass. I mean, a lot of people, even I had my doubts in the beginning that, wow, man, maybe this isn't going to be that great. But over the years, like, I've watched, I mean, I've been an active subscriber to Game Pass now for over 3 years. And I've watched as it's grown from, saving me a little bit of money to saving me a lot of bit of money. And I'm like, wow, man, this is definitely an interesting, service that, I want to see grow and blossom and see more things come to it, because I think in the long run, this is going to be better for developers and gamers alike, because more people will get to experience their content and more gamers will have, more to play. I don't blame Sony PlayStation for their business model whatsoever. They are doing what's always worked for them, and what that entails is, trying to get the most money for the products that they make. There's all this talk about Spartacus, Project Spartacus, Sony's little Game Pass alternative or competitor that'll be coming out in the spring. I'm definitely interested to see how they go about this, because they only have one chance to get this right, and if they can't figure out how to get it right at first, then I understand that they have to start slow, because they just can't afford to dump a bunch of money into a Game Pass subscription service like Microsoft has done. But there's a very fine line that they're going to have to tread. They're going to have to deliver a value to keep people to paying that monthly subscription fee. I mean, PS Plus, you're basically forced to buy that so you can play online. PS Now, like, there's no reason to buy that unless you really just want to play old games right now. So they need to strike a good balance that's going to provide a value and a service that the gamers are going to want and that gamers are going to want to take advantage of. Do they need to put games day and date? I think Sony could probably get away with not doing it for 6 months or so and then start dropping those titles on there. But that means it's going to be about 6 months before they really start to even grow a pretty decent base for that service. So, I mean, if they come out and they put AAA freaking demos on there, like letting people play the first couple hours of the game, that is going to be like a slap in the face to... I don't think that's going to go over well with the community. I think that could probably hurt this new service more than help it. But that's just me. I mean, they could come out strong and drop every one of their first party titles on there that have been out for over a year. Like Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, Demon's Souls. All these games, they could definitely drop those on there and it would be more enticing. A lot more people would definitely be more willing to pay a subscription fee to play a lot of those games. But they're going to have to do something strong like that right out of the gate to build hype for whatever they're going to do. And I want to see it succeed. I want to see it grow. I want to see it be able to encourage more gamers to get in and actually try and play more experiences, because that's what Game Pass is doing for Xbox. There's a lot of people playing a lot of games that they normally wouldn't play, and just being able to jump on there and stream those from the cloud now is freaking amazing. So yeah, I want to see gaming move forward. I want to see things get better. I want to see things continue to be strong, and I want to see companies like EA, Activision, and Sony take more interest in actually putting out solid games. Not so much Sony. Sony usually does a good job, but EA and Activision, man, we're done with these broken games, guys. Come on, man, stop selling us empty games at launch and then making us wait years to actually be able to enjoy these experiences, because this really sucks, man. This has been a pretty dismal year for companies doing this stuff. It's always these bigger ones too, man. CD Projekt Red, Ubisoft, all of these guys, Activision, EA, they put out these broken, busted games. They expect us to pay full price for them. They milk them for money for 6 months, and then they just, whatever. It's getting a little frustrating, man. This games as a service model either needs to be fully baked at launch, or they need to drop these games free to play or early access or something, and let them grow and see how the player base is going to react. I mean, you see stuff like Apex Legends and Fortnite and stuff being successful, Warzone being successful, but that's only because they're free to play. If they weren't free to play, I don't think they would be as successful as they are. I mean, we're going to see how Halo does, Halo Infinite, with the multiplayer, but as it's looking right now, I think it's in a good spot. I think it's definitely in a good spot. Yeah, maybe the Battle Pass could use some work, but I don't really care about Battle Passes, so I don't really necessarily put much thought into it. I just get in there and play what I need to play to be good with that. So, if you like this content and you want to see more of this stuff, definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.